an item I filed with the Common Council. So I filed item 24-1063, which is I requested a meeting with the Civil Service Appeals Board. So I have on my YouTube channel my full audit, and I recorded a full show last week. So if you want to watch my full audit, I'll let you go there. But I will play a short clip from my video that I think illustrates maybe the topic. Let's see if I can get the sound. Yeah, the sound's not working. But essentially, I made some clips where that I shared on Twitter. But essentially, so Section 1114 of the City Charter, it gives anyone aggrieved by civil service law the right to appeal to this board. And I haven't found any evidence that the Civil Service Appeals Boards exist. Like it's in the City Charter and it's supposed to be, but I don't think the mayor or the council has appointed anybody. So it's like this shadow board that I don't think exists. So essentially, I think the city violated Rule 16-4 of civil service. So, and I described it last week as like in City Hall, not all employees are the same. So it's like a hierarchy or a caste system. Yeah. You can probably understand a caste system. Yeah. At the top are exempt employees, or these are people that are like appointed by the mayor and commissioner. So they're like the top dogs at the top of the caste system. Yeah. Then in the middle, there's classified or like permanent positions. These are people that have like passed the civil service exam, so they've proved that they're competent for the position, and they get protections. Then at the bottom of the caste system are provisional employees. So these are people that are kind of temporary. And that's what I was a provisional. But there's actually a civil service law that says that no provisional appointment should last for more than 9 months. And my provisional appointment was kept 18 months because the civil service commissioner never conducted a civil service exam. So essentially, the city kept me in a provisional at the bottom of the caste system, I think intentionally, so that they could fire me at will. Because one of the things about getting to the middle of the caste system is once you pass a civil service exam, you have protection. So you have this thing called Section 75 termination proceedings. So if they want to fire you, there's a whole process with a hearing that you have to go to. Essentially, they kept me provisional so that they could fire me at will, which is what they did.
Yeah. So that's unfair. Yeah.
And I think they're doing this. I think it's not just me. So I think they're doing it citywide to keep people, especially to
keep string people along.
Yeah, to hold leverage over the people that work there. So if you can be fired anytime, you're more likely to do things that are nefarious or that you don't believe because you have no protection. So I think, especially as I get into a lot of the just the city in Buffalo is so mismanaged, and I think a lot of it has to do with the people running the show.
The city.
That I live in. That's the thing is you can't really when I find corruption. One option is to bury your head in the sand and ignore it. Another option, I guess, is to fight for it. And the problem with burying your head in the sand is even though you ignored it, it's still going on. And especially as someone that lives in the city, it still affects me. So, right. So if they fired me at will, and I took me a while to get over it, but I'm kind of over it now. But the problem is that the city that I live in is affected because essentially by having provisionals, the people that are running the city haven't gone through the screening that they're competent. It's more just that they've been appointed. So it kind of affects me as a citizen because I pay taxes and they keep raising the taxes and there's so much mismanagement. It's like a Jerry Springer show in City Hall, and it kind of, I think the violation of this rule, the 16.4, is kind of downstream. And I suggest if this is interesting to you to watch my full audit report on my YouTube channel. But essentially there's even things like my union president. And I'm big union and blue collar, but my union president, she works in the HR department, which I think is a conflict of interest, and I suspect that she instigated my termination. So my own union president instigated my termination.
I've had bad experiences with unions. I've had good ones, but I do remember certain union presidents where it's like she's working for herself. She's working for herself and her small clique of friends and nobody else.
And the first thing my union president said to me when I met her was, "How long you been working here for?" That was like, I went to introduce myself, and that's what she said. And then also, after I filed my grievance, so one of the things, the way that she manipulates the civil services, that she works in the civil service department, so she doesn't offer civil service exams. And then as union president, she represents every single city employee in grievance. So for me, if I file a grievance against the civil service department for not giving a civil service exam, she then has to investigate herself because she's a civil service employee that didn't give the exam. After I filed my grievance, she told me to slow my march down. So she didn't say, "Oh yeah, I'm fighting for you. Let's get you a civil service exam." She literally said, "Yeah, slow your march down." But that's information on my YouTube channel if you want to check it out. And I'll be posting it on my website, muckrakerpunk.net. let's move on to the next. The next is my BHU body cam footage. So I've publicly released on Christmas Eve, 3 members of the Buffalo Police Behavioral Health Unit visited my house. So I foiled for the body cam footage. So I released it. So let's see if we can watch a little bit. I don't know if the sound will work. Hopefully it does, and the sound is not working. But essentially, yeah, they showed up to my house and they conducted a mental health evaluation. So this is Lieutenant Steven Zip. He was questioning me, and essentially he showed up at my house on Christmas Eve and just kept asking me, why are you fired? Why were you fired? And I tried telling him I was fired effective immediately, and I was given no reason in my termination letter. And he didn't like that answer, so he kept pushing me. And then eventually I just I didn't tell him off, but I kind of just started breaking stuff down to him that he didn't understand.
That's frustrating, yeah.
But I still don't really know why I was fired, because I wasn't told. I was, but I think, so that footage is on online. I've made it public, but I think it was kind of in the city's threat management unit. They're this unit of the Buffalo Police Department that's like responsible for like terrorism and terroristic threats. So like people that say I'm going to shoot up a building or I'm going to kill this politician, like this threat management unit is that. And for some reason, the Sergeant Detective Nicole Krug of the BPD, she sent these people here. So these people really had no idea who I was. They were just said, hey, go to this person's house and do a mental health evaluation. And I don't want to get too tin hatty, because I maybe have a predisposition to get that way. And I think I'm very skeptical of the city, but I think it was used. This was right after I caught the union president essentially stealing my wages and violating the CBA. And then a week later, I filed an item with the Common Council. So it's actually a protected right that you can report lost wages to an official body. I think this was part of, I think it was retaliation. I felt harassed and intimidated by the detective sergeant. That I had posted security cam footage that didn't have audio, but this video has the full audio. So I don't want to comment too much, because I'll let people watch it if they want to and see it themselves. But I'll
link to that later. Yeah,
my body cam footage is on live, so watch it and let me know what you think. And so that's that's some muckraking.
Well, it's nice that they sent us what do you call the lady there. What do you call her?
A social worker.
Social worker. Yeah, that's nice.
They cared about me, so they checked. And that's what I said. They showed up to check my mental health. They've done more to damage my mental health just by showing up at my, because if they can show up at my house on Christmas Eve for no reason, what else can they? That means they can show up anywhere, right?
Yeah,
especially as a good Christian former altar boy. Christmas Eve is a sacred, holy day for me, and to have it interrupted. I was actually at the moment. This was my parents' car, and I was detailing their car as like a Christmas gift. So I was actually I think I was actually singing too at that point when they walked up on me. But that's this is the body cam footage, and make your own judgment. But it's online now, and I think I'm glad that it's out, and other people can see it. So if anything happens to me, I think that's probably related to here. And so that's my body cam footage.